Good afternoon, Kate.
Hello.
Very nice to see you. And especially exciting because you've got the most extraordinary exhibition happening. Tell everybody about it.
My exhibition is called Plough Arts Centre Torrington, and it's open at the Plough Arts Centre in Torrington at the moment until the 26th of October. And it's a collection of around 100 photos that I took in Ukraine since the beginning of the war in 2022.
So it's a personal catalogue of your favourite images and your most poignant images to depict the story.
Yeah, I would say so. Some of the pictures are really beautiful, some of the pictures are very heartbreaking, and I would say the biggest point of my exhibition is this contrast between the beauty and the destruction. So that's why it's called Flowers in the Ruins. And my favorite point about the exhibition is that, in some pictures you just look at them and you think, oh my god, it's beautiful. I would love to go and see that. I would love to visit this country and see this on the street, go sightsee and everything like that. But then you look at other pictures and you understand that everything beautiful can go in just one moment, and you realize the need to protect things like that, to protect beautiful things, to protect important things. And looking at those photos and looking back on those memories that I made in Ukraine, I understand that this quote that we value everything as soon as we lose it, it's the most true quote I've ever heard in my entire life. And it sounds very basic and it sounds very overused, but it is so true. And that's what my exhibition is really about.
Well, it sounds very powerful, and I know you've put on an exhibition there before. So to be invited back is obviously a real tribute to the work that you create and how you curate that messaging. And so for a lot of people locally, it will be a really good touch point to understand the realities of what people like yourself are going through on an everyday basis. Now, alongside this, you're having your play performed again, is that right?
Yeah, so at the moment we don't know the exact dates yet, but we're going to perform 2, maybe 3 times in the gallery during this 3 weeks of the exhibition being open. And for those people who have attended the performance before, it's going to be very different. So the story is the same, and the writing is the same, but the lead, the main actress, it's going to be me now, because Lettice Johnson, the amazing girl who played Roxolana in every other version before, she can't do it anymore, so I had to stand in. So it will be very fascinating, very interesting for both people who had never seen the play before, and it will be the first time for them, and it will be interesting for people who have watched the performance before, because it is going to be very different now.
Well, I was at the Plough and I saw your play and met your sister, and it's a very real, it's a very real story, isn't it? And it's so important for you to share with others. Obviously, last time you wrote the play, I think you wrote it in between GCSEs.
Yeah, it was summer 2023. Yeah, it's been a bit longer than a year now.
And so you then found your cast, and you obviously wrote it into the play and then directed that. Whereas this time, as you've just said, you're also going to be starring in the play.
Yeah.
How do you feel about how your journey?
It's been an exhausting journey, but I learned so much through this experience. It was absolutely fantastic to do this alongside with the nicest people I've ever met. We got along with my cast really well. We got along really well with the staff member at the Plough. We made lots of new connections. For example, when we performed in Dorchester just this Sunday, it was just such an amazing experience. Obviously it has its difficulties, and there are lots of reasons why I didn't want to play the main role, why I didn't want to be Roxolana from the beginning. And one of those reasons is that the play is literally about the most traumatic events of my entire life, and it is very hard for me every single day because I have those memories in the back of my head, and when I act them on stage, when I go through rehearsals every single time, it's as if I relive them again and again and again and again, and they feel way more vivid and they feel way more emotional because I'm looking back on that time when I was a completely different person, when my family members were completely different people, and it is very painful. Alongside with that, there are lots of other reasons why I didn't want to be Roxolana, but I would say this is the hardest challenge that I needed to overcome. But I think that the goal I have with these performances and the goal I have in mind, and my cast as well, to make a change, to make a difference with this performance, I'm alright with, you know, going through that again, because I hope that it can change something.
And you've taken the play on the road and obviously had different adaptations to it. So you were at the Barnstable Fringe?
Yeah, we performed at the Barnstable Fringe Festival, and again it was a different version because we needed to shorten it down. We needed to adapt to a way smaller space. We needed to adapt to having almost no tech at all, no lighting, limited sound, stuff like that. So it was a very different version. Now we performed at Dorchester again. It was a different version of the play. It was a bit longer, but not as long as it was at the Plough, and the tech was a little bit different, and obviously the main lead was different. And at the gallery it will be different again, because we again will have a different space. We will have no tech, absolutely, because we don't have anything like that in the gallery there. So it is very fascinating to see how the play adapts itself and how we as cast members and me as a director, how we adapt it every single time. It's very interesting, very, very stressful, but very interesting as well. And yeah, it just, we don't get bored of it because it changes every time we do it. And I think that's kind of a very cool part of the production, that it changes every time.
Yeah, it makes it feel really dynamic and it brings life to the whole story. So this is all going alongside your studies though, isn't it?
Yeah.
How are you fitting in all your work? Tell everybody what else you're doing here at school.
So I'm doing my 5A levels, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm doing my Lambda exams this year as well. I'm doing grade 8 solo acting alongside with all of this, and obviously I will need to submit my UCAS applications this week, so I mean there's quite a lot of stuff going on, but I mean it's alright. When people ask me how I find this balance between like school life and my life on the side, and I will be honest, I don't sleep. I don't sleep. My summer holiday was good because I slept well. One day I slept for 23 hours straight. Yeah, I went to sleep at 6 p.m. and woke up at 5 p.m. the next day.
Well, probably just what you need, and maybe try and get in a bit more sleep over the coming weeks. But yes, you're obviously exceptionally busy, but you've got to also look after yourself, because what you're doing is you're giving a lot of yourself to others in the form of your play, because obviously it's your story, and as you say, when you're playing it yourself and cast as yourself, it's you know you're putting yourself out there, aren't you? And that takes a lot of courage. But you're not short of courage, so we're all good on that front. So at the moment we haven't got the dates, have we, for the production?
Not at the moment. My cast members are extremely busy as well. They have lots of extracurriculum stuff. They just started the GCSE years, year 10 or year 11, so a lot of stuff going on for them as well. But we will find out the dates as soon as we can, hopefully by the middle of this week maybe, and then I will make sure to let other people know and promote the performance as well.
Brilliant, and we'll obviously help you with that. But in the meanwhile, anyone could turn up and see your exhibition at the Plough until the 26th of October?
26th of October, yes.
Okay, so it's well worth seeing. It's a brilliant and very moving exhibition. So Kate, well done, and congratulations to you on your continual success with all of your work. And a big shout out to everybody at the Plough as well for all their support, and the fellow cast members. And yeah, on behalf of everyone here, we wish you every success, and we know you're going to make the story much better known through your work. So many congratulations.
Thank you.